Okay, you know the feeling. You've got the tickets, you've booked the time off, but that perfect trip you imagined is just getting buried in a total mess of options, schedules, and reviews. It's a classic planning nightmare, right? Well, today, we're going to follow one family's journey from that exact chaos to a crystal clear plan and see exactly how they pulled it off.
So the dream was simple enough. Go enjoy this amazing, massive food festival. But the reality? Oh, the reality was a complicated flood of information, endless choices, and that feeling in the pit of your stomach, that fear of missing out. It's something we've all felt when planning something big.
So, that brings us to the big question. How do you actually sift through all that noise to create a real strategy for the best possible trip? Without all the stress. Let's dive in.
All right, so our case study kicks off with a huge challenge. Just an absolute ocean of options, all presented by one of Brazil's most famous culinary events. This is where that overwhelming feeling really starts to hit you.
The event we're talking about is the Tiradentes Gastronomic Festival. And look, this isn't happening in some convention center. The entire historic town of Tiradentes is taken over. Every square, every resort, every little street corner becomes part of the experience.
And just get a load of this menu of choices. You've got free live cooking classes, you've got these exclusive dinners with famous chefs, open-air food markets, wine tastings, brand activations with free samples. I mean, seriously, where do you even start with all that?
So the family's first move was a smart one. They decided to just get all this chaotic information out of their heads and down on paper. They started mapping out all the raw data, just trying to make some sense of this flood of information coming at them.
And pretty quickly, they identified 5 main hubs for the festival. You had the educational stuff at Senac, the super lively public square, and so on. Just grouping the chaos into these 5 locations was that crucial first step toward making sense of it all.
And this is where they really started to organize the chaos. By laying everything out like this, the trade-off suddenly became super clear. Okay, the main square, it's free, but it's going to be crowded. The cooking classes, they're educational, but you got to be quick to get those tickets. You could go all out for a 600 real dinner, or you could pay for an exclusive ticketed event just to escape the crowds. See? It's all about choices.
And this just nails it, right? This quote from their actual planning session says it all. There's no such thing as a free lunch. They realized every single choice was a balance between cost, comfort, and the kind of experience they were really hoping for.
Okay, and this is the turning point. This is where they moved from just listing a bunch of options to actually creating a real framework for making decisions. This is where they found the method in all the madness.
I mean, they knew they couldn't do everything, right? So the big breakthrough came when they realized what they really needed was a filter. They stopped looking at all the options and started defining their priorities. What truly mattered to them for this trip?
And check out the strategy they came up with. It's brilliant. First, they decided to prioritize that classic bustling festival vibe for Saturday, which they knew would be the busiest day. Second, they really thought about their budget options. Third, and this is smart, they decided to schedule a less crowded paid event for Friday night to manage their energy. And fourth, a simple but amazing move. Have breakfast at their rental home to totally avoid the morning rush in a town packed with tourists.
So, what did all this strategic thinking actually lead to? The master plan. Let's take a look at how they turned all that chaos into a beautiful, crystal clear itinerary.
And here it is. The result was this detailed PDF guide. A single document that took 100 overwhelming choices and boiled them all down into one perfect, actionable plan. No more confusion, just pure clarity.
And the plan wasn't just a bunch of ideas. It was precise. How precise? They knew the final accommodation cost per person, down to the last centavo. Now, that's the kind of clarity that just erases any financial stress on a trip.
And look at how clean this is. Each day now has a clear purpose. Thursday is for getting there and settling in. Friday is for history and that special dinner. Saturday is for a scenic train ride and a sunset wine event. And Sunday is for some last-minute shopping before heading home. All the big decisions are made, it's done. So let's look at the direct results here. The problem was feeling overwhelmed by crowds, right? The solution in the plan was to mix the busy festival grounds with exclusive, ticketed events for balance. Another problem, not sure where to eat? The plan had 2 curated, high-quality restaurant options for every single dinner. Decision fatigue? Completely gone. And this level of detail, you know what it gives you? True peace of mind. The plan even specifies the exact checkout time. When nothing is left to chance, you can just relax and actually enjoy the moment.
So what does all this mean for you? Well, this case study is way more than just one family's trip. It's a blueprint that you can use to plan like an absolute pro.
Because what this journey really shows us is a powerful, repeatable method. It's a way of thinking that can take you from feeling stressed and totally overwhelmed to feeling confident and genuinely excited about any complex trip you want to take.
So here it is, that powerful method, broken down into a 4-step blueprint for you. First, just brainstorm everything. Get all the possibilities out there with no judgment. Next, and this is the most important part, you define your filters. This is where you decide what actually matters to you. Is it budget, pace, the type of experience? Once you have those filters, you can build a simple skeleton for your trip, giving each day an anchor activity. And only then, at the very end, do you fill in all the little details. That, right there, is the path from chaos to clarity.
Turning that flood of information into a simple, clear strategy is the real secret to tackling any big trip. So, that just leaves one question. What complex adventure will you plan next?